So, Bud, how has the coronavirus changed everything for you?
To be honest, it haven't really changed anything with me. Like, I really too much don't do too much of nothing, but I do all the same things that I do on a day-to-day basis.
Are you able to get in the gym and still spar with everybody? How do y'all adjust through that?
Yeah, I've been in the gym every day. Training-wise, that haven't affected anything. So it haven't affected me too much, anything.
Yeah. I see boxing's kind of put everything on hold. Has that made you antsy? You know, you can't put a fight on the docket quite yet?
No, it didn't make me antsy. It just, let me know that when it starts back up, everybody's going to be ready to go. It's going to be a lot of motivation going around, and there's going to be a lot of hunger on the playing field. So it's going to make for great fights.
Do you have any idea on when that'll be, when you'll be able to book your next fight?
Oh, not really. I'm just taking it day by day right now. Pretty much it.
So obviously, Errol Spence talked earlier this week on his IG Live, and he said that he wants to fight you or Pacquiao in September or October. What do you think about that?
Well, like I said, man, it's easy to say you want to fight somebody, but, signing that contract and actually getting in the ring with somebody is a whole different ball game. So when somebody say they want to fight me, I just take it for what it is until it happens.
You sound like you hear that a lot. You're the champion, so everybody wants to fight you. What do you think about, Errol in general? Everybody's been talking about that fight for a long time being the fight. What needs to happen to make it happen?
Everybody got to come to the table, sit down, and agree to some terms that both parties, is happy with, and then there you go. You got to fight. It's that simple.
So
it's not hard to make. A lot of people in the media, in the outside world, think they know how hard it is to make a fight, or they know the inside. It's not hard. All you got to do is sit down, and come to an agreement to make the fight. Just like Pacquiao and Mayweather did, just like Tyson Fury and Wilder did. It's not hard to make a fight. It's the actually the money. That's the biggest thing.
Right. So is that a fight that you want right now?
And that's a fight that I wanted before I moved up into the division. When I came into the 147 division, I wanted all champions. Mm-hmm. I didn't just single out this champion or this champion or this champion. I called them all out. All four champions. That's who I wanted because I was undisputed. So that was my next goal, is to become undisputed in the welterweight division. So when I came to the welterweight division, I called all of them out. Really, didn't nobody really want to fight me because they said, oh, well, I haven't even fought nobody. I don't have a title. I don't have nothing to give. And, once I beat Jeff Horn, then it was a different story.
Right.
So I just do what I do.
So at this point, you think, is the money the reason why it hasn't been made yet? Is that the factor? For sure. When you look at fighters, we all fighters. We've been fighting our whole life. I don't believe no fighter is scared to get in the ring with another fighter. Some might be nervous because they know, like, it's a high possible chance of them getting an L on their record, so they kind of shy away from that type of fight, or they be like, nah, I don't want to fight that type of fight. A lot of people want to protect their records nowadays, but you throw the right amount of money out there, they don't care if they win or lose, because they actually winning because they're going home with a nice hefty amount of money at the end of the day. Right. So is there a number? Is there a percentage that you feel like your side or his side we need to get, to make this worth y'all while? Well, yeah, that's what it's all about, money. When it all comes down to it, it comes down to money. Who's going to be the A side? Who's going to get the higher percentage? When you're doing big fights with different networks, then you got two champions, and who's going to walk first, and
what network is it going to be on, and it's a lot that goes into making these type of fights happen because we on two different sides of promotional companies, and they obligated to promote they fighter. So when you look at me, I'm with Top Rank in ESPN, and all my fights is on ESPN, and they got to deal with Top Rank that, you know, they top fighters fight on ESPN and so forth with Al Heyman with Fox and Showtime. You know, all his top fighters fight on Fox and, you know, Showtime. So, you know, all that had to come into play of what network we're going to fight on, if not both networks. So it's a lot that goes into making these big mega fights.
Okay, so would you I'm assuming you want to be the A side on this fight if it happened. If he was able to make the fight, would you be willing to be the B side, or you think from what you proved, you got to be the A side?
Man, listen, I didn't prove way more than what he have ever accomplished in the sport of boxing. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, I haven't proved nothing. I haven't fought anybody." He beat Sean Porter and Kell Brook in the welterweight division, and I haven't fought a top welterweight, they should say. But my thing is, put those guys that I fought in the ring with the guys that he fought, and then just see the difference, you know? Because me fighting the guys that he beat is only gonna downgrade me. Like, oh, well, Errol Spence already beat this guy, or he already did this to this guy, and, you know, they just gonna try to take credit away from me.
I'll just jump into the next one. And I just want to pull what Errol said because, you know, a lot of times it's trash talk that heats these things up. He said that I'll wash Terence Crawford. I feel I'll beat him, I'll punch him. What comes to your mind when you hear that?
Well, a lot of people said they was going to do a lot of things to me, and then when it came down to it, none of those things that they actually said was going to happen at the end of the day. So, me knowing myself, you know, I'm not the type of person that's going to entertain that stuff. I'm about, you know, showing you rather than telling you. He feels that way. He's entitled to feel that way. Just like, you know, when I called him up and I told him I was going to beat his ass, you know, I'm entitled to feel that way. But the only thing different than me and him, I mean it. You know, like when that fight happened, you know, everybody's going to see a different side of Terence Crawford that they really never seen before. And they're going to see a different side of Errol Spence as well, because I'm going to make him look like an ordinary fighter.
So you don't think he means it when he says he can beat you?
Well, he feels he mean it until we get in the ring.
Right.
A lot of people feel that they see something that's in my game that they can utilize they game plan or they fighting style against my style, or however the way he feels, you know. He thinks, oh, I'm bigger, I weigh more, I cut more weight, or I don't know what it is, but you know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna win that fight. It's hands down.
So let's say the fight gets made, y'all both make a lot of money, everybody's set. What about that fight do you feel like leans your way? Like, what about the matchup do you feel good about beating them?
When you look at the matchup with me and Spence, you got two strong fighters. He's strong, I'm strong. He punch hard, I punch hard. I got ring IQ, he got ring IQ, but I think what separates us two is I'm faster, I'm smarter, I'm slicker, I got more heart. I'm all around versatile. You know, I can switch it up. I don't think he can keep up with what I'm gonna bring to the table, because I'm gonna be switching up things like in mid stride, and he's not going to be able to keep up. That's just me personally.
Right, right. What did you think when he got in that the car accident and how that, you know, kind of put a I guess a scare in a lot of people, but like what was your thought, you know, obviously as a rival fighter, but you know, seeing that happen?
This didn't when I seen that, I was like, damn, you know, I hope you're all right, because at the end of the day, you know, this is a sport. We both two competitive persons. You know, he want to be number one in the division. I want to be number one in the division. I feel like I'm number one in the division, and he feel like he number one in the division. That's why we need to fight to see who's number one in the division. But when that happened, you know, I sent him a text message, you know, hoping that he was all right health-wise. And, you know, he got a family that he got to look after. You never want to see no fighters go out like that on an accident or any such thing like that. So, you know, I was happy that he was all right. And then once he get healthy, you know, we'd be able to see him back in the ring, because he is a big talent. You know, like I told him, I watch you all the time. You know, I've been watching him since he was in the amateurs. You know, since you've been on the Olympic team and all that. So I support him. It's just that I just feel like I'm better than him.
Right. You mentioned he thinks he's number one. You think he's number one. A lot of times we see these rankings. You know, ESPN has their rankings. A lot of these different places have their rankings. I want to ask you, in your division, how would you rank the top five?
Top five, I would say me, Errol, Pacquiao, Danny, and Sean Porter.
Okay. So let's talk about Pacquiao. That's another name that's been brought up a lot. You know, what do you think about his skill set? Obviously, he's accomplished a lot. Is that a guy that you would want to get in the ring with?
Of course, Pacquiao's skill set is bar none one of the greatest skill sets of all time. For him to move up in so many divisions and at the same time be as dominated as he's been in the past years, there's no question that his skill set is at a all-time high. Yeah, I've been trying to fight Pacquiao since 2015, so that's not a secret that that's a big fight that I've been looking forward to getting.
Is that one similar to Errol, where the money is what might be holding that one up?
No, it could be, but at the same time, I don't know, because back when I was trying to fight him, they wouldn't fight me, but they was fighting guys like Brandon Rios and Jesse Vargas and Tim Bradley 2 more times. So I don't know what it was. I just think that they didn't like my style or whatever the case may be. But now that he's at the end of his career and at the last leg of his run, it may be the money.
You feel like it's getting more reasonable than ever now because he's at the end?
I don't know. You know, like I said, the money. You know, you gotta. If for Pacquiao to get in the ring with me or Errol Spence, he's gonna have to get paid for it.
Right.
We got 2 of the top pound for pound fighters in the world, and the 2 top welterweights that's young, hungry, strong, smart, like all around. You know, Pacquiao is going to actually have to be on his A game like he was with Keith Thurman. You know, he surprised a lot of people with the win over Keith Thurman. You know, a lot of people thought Keith Thurman was just going to go in there and just knock him out. And Pacquiao showed a glimpse of the old Pacquiao that got him to the top.
Right. Okay. I want to ask you the next guy on that list, Danny Garcia. What do you think about him? Obviously, he's a guy who kind of came up with the O on his record for a while, and he was one of the hot guns. Now he fell off a little bit, but what do you think about his game and where he is and what challenge he would present?
Oh, Danny Garcia is a great fighter, man. I've been telling everybody about Danny Garcia since a lot of people was always saying he cherry picking and whatnot. me and Danny fought twice, so I actually know, what threats he present and oppose, all that. Danny got good timing. He can box. He can bang. He's strong. He can take a punch. He can dish a punch. So when you fight, he's always in shape. So the thing is with Danny is when you fight Danny, you're going to have to be on your A game because he's going to bring it. If you feel like, you getting up on points, he's going to pick it up. And if you can't keep him off of you or make him respect you, then you're going to be in for a long night. And I just feel like my style and his style is good for each other. You got two counter punchers, two strong fighters. You got a little history behind that. We both 1-1. But anything Danny can do, I can do as well. But I think what separates us is, my boxing IQ and me being able to switch up and being able to box and my speed.
Is that the best fighter you've been in the ring with before?
Actually, no. I can't say he was the best fighter that I've been in the ring before. But times has changed because we fought in the amateurs, and pros is way totally different. So, I couldn't say that was the best fighter that I fought because he's grown so much, just like I've grown so much.
Right. Okay. And the last guy, Sean Porter, obviously he fought Errol last, and that was a heck of a contest. One, what did you think when you were watching that fight? Did you have any rooting interest and what was your takeaway?
Well, Sean, my boy, of course I was rooting for Sean. A lot of people thought I was crazy when I did the interviews and I told them that it was a 50-50 fight. And everybody thought Errol was just going to sit there and whitewash him and knock him out. And I was just like, man, y'all crazy. I didn't see Sean rise to the occasion so many times after time in the amateurs. And he was fighting 165, and he was the smallest 165-pounder ever, So, to see him beat guys like Danny Jacobs, it was just like, unheard of, So I always knew Sean was going to be a tough fight for anybody.
Two guys you didn't put on that list, Kell Brook and Keith Thurman. Those are names that are mentioned sometimes. What about those fighters that you think don't land them on your top five?
Well, activity. Neither one of them has really been in the ring that much lately. Kell Brook, he actually went into retirement. He just came back out of retirement. Talented fighter, both of them, him and Keith Thurman. But as you see, like before Keith Thurman fought Pacquiao, he was inactive due to a whole bunch of injuries and a whole bunch of other stuff. I don't know what it was, but he was inactive. And after the Pacquiao fight, I guess he got another injury, so he was inactive again. So mainly that's pretty much the reason, because of they not in the game.
Right. Okay, so a lot of times you see boxing media or boxing fans trying to match up fights. What fight would you want more? If you had to pick your one or two fights that you had to make, what would they be?
Well, Pacquiao and Spence.
Pacquiao and Spence, those would be your two?
Yep.
Yeah.
I say Pacquiao because, he don't have that much longer in the sport, and I would want that name on my resume. And Spence because, that's the fight that everybody want to see.
Right. Hopefully we can make a lot of money.
Yeah, hopefully.
One more thing I want to ask you. It's always interesting in this boxing era where everybody wants the bravado and the smash talk, and that's not really your style. You like to do your fighting with your hands. Have you felt any pressure to try to change that demeanor, to make more money, to make more of a brand of yourself?
Well, listen, this is what I always said. Like, I say it time and time again. You never see a lot of these fighters that's at the top. You never see them, like, let's say De La Hoya, for instance, and Manny Pacquiao. They made money off of their skills and what they did in the ring. Now, don't get me wrong, De La Hoya, if you came at him, you know, he'll come back at you, but you didn't never just see him just acting out of the ordinary until like later in his career.
Right.
You know, so why should I have to sell my soul to please and to entertain somebody that don't give a about me?
Right.
Now, granted, we in the entertainment business, and I feel like I'm an entertainer in the ring, and I feel like every time I fight, it's an entertaining fight. So for somebody to say, oh, well, he can't market himself, and he can't do this, and he can't do that, but when we get in the ring, I'm going to beat your ass. Let's do that. You know what I mean? You say what you say, and when we get in the ring, I'm going to beat your ass, and everybody going to root, and everybody going to talk about it, and everybody going to be like, dang, did you see Crawford? He did this, he did that. Man, that fight was good. That fight was – everybody going to be talking about it.
Right.
Outside of the fact of, you know, me acting like a clown and doing all that stuff, I did that when I was younger. You know, I'm a grown man now, and I didn't grew so much. Like, it's just crazy because I did a 360.
Right.
You know, like back in the days, I probably would have been out there jumping, you know, cussing everybody, y'all doing the most, you know, and everybody probably would have been like, oh man, Crawford crazy, man. We gonna tune in to Crawford. But then when you try to be humble and you try to be, you know what I mean, a respectable guy, then everybody say, oh, well, you ain't this, you ain't that. People backwards.
What do you think is the cause of that? You think is it because Floyd had that bravado for so long in this division that everybody expects?
It started with Floyd. It didn't start with Floyd.
Yeah.
You know, it started with Ali.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people love Ali now, but they hated him when he was fighting.
Right.
I don't want that. Love me now and love me after boxing. You know, same way with Tyson. You know, everybody hated him and people feared him. But now everybody love him. They like, oh, Tyson, can I get a picture? Oh, Tyson. But I don't want that. I don't want that. You know what I mean? If you don't like me, just stay away from me. I want to see you don't like me. Don't after boxing because you don't like me. If you don't like me, it's for a personal reason, not because of I did something to you, because I didn't do nothing to you. So that's my whole thing. Like, no, I'm not about to. Because if I say I'm gonna fuck you up, I really be meaning I'm gonna fuck you up. Like,
right.
Or no front or no fake beef and all that stuff. Just so everybody can say, oh, well, they for real. And then, you see us at the bar drinking beers together.
And then y'all are friendly, you know, it's just for show. Yeah. Well, I think that's it for me, bud. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the time. Hope to see you back in the ring real soon. Stay safe out there.
100. All right.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.